Unit 1. Regulating stay and work of foreigners in Republic of Slovenia. This unit is designed to introduce the term of foreign citizens and categories of foreigners to the learners. It will familiarize you with basic characteristics of certain categories and basic conditions which are required to fulfill in order to obtain stay and work permit. After acquiring knowledge from this unit, you will have the knowledge and skills to teach future FDI advisors too. Know the differences in conditions and procedures for obtaining work and residence permits based on different foreign national status. Inform foreign citizens of conditions and procedures for obtaining work and residence permits, depending on their status. The conditions for granting temporary or permanent stay to foreigners are regulated by the Foreigners Act, Official Gazette, 50-2011-1, 2018, 9, 2018, and accompanying bylaws. The Act sets out the conditions for and methods of entry into, departure from and residence of foreigners in the Republic of Slovenia. Foreigners in Slovenia are divided into two larger groups which differ according to country from which they are coming from, namely European Economic Area member states nationals. EEA members are the European Union member states, Norway, Iceland and Liechtenstein, and nationals of Switzerland. Nationals of all other, third, countries. Residence permits for citizens of EEA in Switzerland. Citizens of EEA in Switzerland can freely enter and have free access to the Slovenian labour market. However, entering Slovenia, a citizen from the territory of EEA in Switzerland does not require an entry permit, that is, a visa or residence permit for entry into the Republic of Slovenia. He can enter the country with a valid identity card or valid passport irrespective of the reason or purpose for which he wants to enter and reside there. He can leave the Republic of Slovenia with a valid identity card or valid passport. The citizen shall be refused entry if he does not have a valid identity card or a valid passport. The period has not yet passed for which he has been denied entry into the country. His residence in the Republic of Slovenia would pose a threat to the public order, security or international relations of the Republic of Slovenia, or if there is a suspicion that his stay in the country will be connected with the conduct of terrorist acts or other acts of violence, illegal intelligence activities, production or trafficking in drugs, enforcement of other criminal offences. He shows serious signs of an infectious disease with the possibility of an epidemic listed in the World Health Organization's international health regulations, or serious signs of another infectious disease that could endanger human health and for which, in accordance with the law governing infectious diseases, it is necessary to take the prescribed measures. The refusal of entry shall be decided upon by the Border Crossing Supervisory Authority, in accordance with the instructions issued by the Minister of the Interior concerning the existence of the reasons referred to in the preceding paragraph. A citizen from the EEA or Switzerland may appeal against the refusal of entry within 8 days. The Ministry of the Interior decides on the appeal. The appeal does not suspend the execution. Residence registration and residence permit. A citizen from the EEA or Switzerland who comes to the Republic of Slovenia with a valid identity card or a valid passport may reside in the territory of the country without a residence registration for 3 months from the date of entry into the country. If he wishes to reside in the territory of the Republic of Slovenia for more than 3 months, he must register his residence before the expiration of a 3-month period of permitted residence at the administrative unit in the territory of which he resides. The administrative unit shall issue to the citizen a certificate confirming the application for the issue of a certificate of registration of residence permitting him to stay until the final decision on the application is made. The reasons why a citizen can be issued a residence registration certificate are the following: employment or work, self-employment, provision of services, studies or other forms of education, family reunification, and other reasons. The issuing of a residence registration certificate is the responsibility of the administrative unit in the territory of which the citizen resides. B. Work and residence permits for third countries nationals. Citizens from all other, third, countries need to acquire a permit to work and or stay in Slovenia. Several different permits are possible. Single work and residence permit for third countries nationals. A single permit for foreigners from third countries allows them to enter the country and to stay, seek employment and work in Slovenia. In the procedure for a single permit, which is managed by an administrative unit, the Employment Service of Slovenia grants consent to this authorization if the legal condition for a particular type of consent are fulfilled. The Employment Service of Slovenia grants consent for employment, self-employment or work. Employment, extension of employment, written approval for the replacement of a post with the same employer, the replacement of the employer or the employment with two or more employers. EU Blue Card. Posted workers. Training or upgrading of foreigners. Individual services of foreigners. The work of an agent that is longer than 90 days in each calendar year, or seasonal work in agriculture, which is longer than 90 days. The first single permit shall be issued to a foreigner for the duration of the employment contract or the contract concluded for the performance of the work, but not longer than 1 year. A single permit may be extended after the expiration date if the foreigner or his employer requests in time to renew the single permit, for the duration of the employment contract or the contract concluded for the performance of the work, but for a maximum of 2 years. A foreigner with a single permit may change his post with the same employer during the period of its validity, replace an employer or obtain employment with 2 or more employers or conclude a new labor contract on the basis of the written approval of the administrative unit which issued a written approval in the form of a decision after receiving the consent of the Employment Service of Slovenia. EU Blue Card. The EU Blue Card is issued to a foreigner who wants to enter and reside in the Republic of Slovenia based on his high qualifications. A foreigner with a blue card may immediately exercise the right to family reunion. In other cases the procedure can be started only after 1 year of foreigner's residence in Slovenia. The blue card is valid for a period of 2 years. Before the expiry, a foreigner may apply for prolongation. Temporary residence permits for the purpose of study. A foreigner admitted to a study course, other forms of education, specialization, professional training, practical training, or participating in an international study exchange in the relevant educational institutions in the Republic of Slovenia or in educational programs for international volunteer exchanges, may be issued a temporary residence permit. As evidence of the fulfillment of the condition of sufficient means of subsistence, monthly at least in the amount of the basic amount of minimum income in the Republic of Slovenia, a written statement from the student's parents or his legal representative that they will support him during his studies is sufficient. Temporary residence permit for study, education, specialization or professional development is issued for the duration of the study, but not longer than 1 year. In the event that study, education, specialization, professional training last longer than 1 year, the permit may be renewed annually. A foreigner who is studying or educating himself in the Republic of Slovenia, and has obtained a temporary residence permit issued for the purposes of study, may also be employed or work in the Republic of Slovenia during the period of validity of this authorization, under the conditions laid down in the laws governing the working relationships and work of students. Permission for seasonal work. Seasonal work can be performed in agriculture or forestry. It is inextricably linked to the season in which a particular activity is characterized by a marked increase in the need for workers. Foreigners performing seasonal work need a seasonal work permit issued by the Employment Service of Slovenia. The total duration of one or more current permits for seasonal work performed by a foreigner with the same or another employer or contracting authority may not exceed 90 days in a calendar year. Foreigners who perform seasonal work for more than 90 days in a calendar year need to obtain a single permit issued on the basis of consent for seasonal work. On the 1st of March 2013, the bilateral agreement on employment between Slovenia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, B, entered into force, which sets out the conditions and procedure for issuing work permit for B citizens. The permit is issued by the Employment Office, which is taken as consensus to the single residence permit, issued by the administrative unit. B citizens may be employed in Slovenia in case of registration at the Employment Office and B as an unemployed person. No suitable Slovenian candidates for the workplace. Fulfillment of a certain statutory conditions. The employment agreement shall be concluded for a period of 1 year. Before the expiry of a work permit, a foreigner may apply for prolongation. In the case of the fulfillment of conditions, the permit can be prolonged for a period of 3 years. Since regulations are changing rapidly, FDI advisors should check the data on the provided web pages or directly contact the relevant stakeholders before giving any information or starting the permit procedure for foreign investors.